amma ba'd. So we're going to revise a little bit to learn a new type of mad today, inshallah. So the new type of mad we are going to learning today is called mad lazim. So I found actually three types of mad. One is normal mad, which is known as mad tabi'i or mad asli. Another name is mad asli. Then we found two types of mad muttasil and mad munfasil. So we'll revise these three types, then we'll go forward, inshallah. So if anyone does not have the sheet for these three mads, I hope I can give you, inshallah. We know that mad means to lengthen the sound of a letter. It has three letters with three conditions. Number one is letter of the mad is alif. When alif is empty and there is a zabar or fatha before the alif, so this alif will be considered as a letter of mad, meaning we need to stretch the sound when you see this alif empty and the letter before it has a zabar. Example is we can see ba. So you can see there is alif and before alif there is a letter ba with a zabar. So alif is empty, the letter before it has a zabar. This alif is a letter of mad and I need to stretch the sound, make the sound longer. So number one is ba. Second example is second letter of mad is waw. When waw is sakin and the letter before it has a pesh. Waw is sakin, the letter before it has a pesh. Example boo. So you can see waw is sakin, the letter before it has a pesh. So you need to make it longer here. Boo. Third one is when ya is sakin and the letter before it has a zer. When ya is sakin, the letter before it has a zer. Example b. So you can see ya sakin, the letter before it has a zer. B. So ba, bu, b. An example of mad with all three letters is nuhiha. So you can see all three conditions are meeting here. Number one, we found the letter waw sakin, the letter before it is a pesh. Number two, we find ya sakin, the letter before it has a zer. Number three, alif is empty, the letter before it has a zabar. So these three letters are the letters of mad, and you need to stretch the sound. Nuhiha, nuhiha. So make all the letters long because we find these three letters with these three conditions. This mad will be performed as two harakat or one alif long. Two harakat or one alif long. We mentioned that one harakat is when you open a closed finger with a medium speed, as much time it takes, it is one harakat. So when one finger is closed, you open it with the medium speed, it's called a harakat long. So for each mad, the basic mad is two harakat long, which is this mad is called mad asli or mad tabi'i. Okay, next one. So an example of mad again with alif, we say Allahu Ar-Rahmanu Iyyaka. So all this, on these ones, although we cannot see an alif with a zabar before, because the khara zabar or standing zabar actually replace an alif, empty alif, followed by a zabar. So khara zabar replace an empty alif followed by a zabar. Khara zer replace a ya sakin followed by a zer. And ulta pesh or other way, upside down pesh represent a waw sakin followed by a pesh. Okay, so these are three letters. Now we can mention here standing zabar, khara zabar, standing zer or khara zer, and upside down pesh, ulta pesh. These are also represent or replace these three letters. Waw when alif is empty followed by a zabar, ya sakin followed by a zer, waw sakin followed by a pesh. So with waw we'll see the example mukhtalifun lamardudun yaqulun. So all these examples, waw sakin, the letter before it is a pesh. Waw sakin, the letter before it has a pesh. Again waw sakin, the letter before it is a pesh. Waw sakin, the letter before it is a pesh. Waw sakin, the letter before it has a pesh. All these example with waw sakin, the letter before it is a pesh. So we make one alif long. One alif long. With ya, example is Ar-Rahim. So here ya sakin, the letter before it has a zer. Ad-Din. Ya sakin, the letter before it has a zer. Nasta'inu. Ya sakin, the letter before it has a zer. So whenever we see a ya sakin, the letter before it has a zer, it will be a mad, madde asli. Okay. So this mad is called madde asli or original mad. Madde asli or original mad. Okay. So these are the basic mads we found here. Now we've learned another two types of mad. One is madde muttasil and one is madde munfasil. One is madde muttasil, one is madde munfasil. What is madde muttasil? Madde muttasil is when a hamza comes after these three letters of mad. So, you need to remember the three letters of mad again. When alif is empty, the letter before it has a zabur. When waw is empty, the letter before it has a pesh. When ya is sakin, the letter before it has a zer. So these are the three letters of mad. So whenever we see this condition meets, waw sakin before it pesh, or alif sakin, alif empty before it has a zabur, or ya sakin before it has a zer, we know this is a letter of mad. Now after this letter of mad, if there is a hamza, if you see a hamza, then there will be two rules: either muttasil or munfasil. Either muttasil or munfasil. How do we know it is muttasil? If the hamza is together with that waw, alif or ya in the same word, then it will be muttasil. If the hamza comes within the same word, then it will be muttasil. And if the hamza does not come in the same word, rather hamza comes in the next word. Hamza comes in the beginning of the next word, after a space, finger space we call it. So after this space, if the hamza comes in the next word, then it will be called madde munfasil. Madde munfasil. Muttasil means together, munfasil means separate. Muttasil means together, munfasil means separate. So if hamza in the same word, it will be muttasil. If the hamza is in the next word, it will be known as munfasil. Example of muttasil: wal malaika. Now how long is this mad? Is 4 or 5 harakat. So double of the normal mad. When we say nuhiha, only 2 harakat. However, when there is a madde muttasil or munfasil, it has to be either 4 or 5 harakat. So 4 or 5, meaning double mad, double, more than double. So we say wal malaika. Can you repeat after me?
Wal malaika.
As-su.
As-su.
Tabu'a.
Tabu'a.
Tafi'a.
Tafi'a.
Ji'a.
Ji'a.
Sawa.
Sawa.
Ulaika.
Ulaika.
Yasha'u.
Yasha'u.
Fis sama'i.
Fis samai.
So you can see all these examples, there is a hamza. And the hamza in the same word. The hamza in the same word. And it is after a letter of mad. After a letter of mad. For first example, we can see there is a alif, empty. The letter before it has a zabur. So there's zabur on lam. Then alif is empty. So alif is a letter of mad. After this letter, which letter we can see? Hamza. Okay, so after letter of mad, hamza is madde muttasil. Next one, we can see a waw sakin. The letter before it, sin has a pesh. So waw sakin, the letter before it has a pesh. This waw is a letter of mad. Immediately after that, we can see a hamza in the same word. So it's madde muttasil. Next one, we say tabu. Again, waw sakin, the letter before it, ba, has a pesh. Okay, so this waw is a letter of mad. Immediately after the letter of mad in the same word, we can see hamza. So it is madde muttasil. Here tafi'a, ya sakin, the letter before it has a zer. So it is a letter of mad. And immediately after that, there is a hamza. So it's madde muttasil. Similarly, ji'a, ya sakin, the letter before it has a zer. Immediately after the letter of mad, there is a hamza. So madde muttasil. Sawa'un. Here alif is empty. The letter before it has a zabur. So alif empty, letter before zabur is this alif is a letter of mad. After the letter of mad we can see hamza in the same word. So it is madde muttasil. Yasha'u same. Fi sama'i same. So we found the definition of madde muttasil is when a hamza comes after a letter of mad in the same word, it will be madde muttasil. We need to make it 4 or 5 harakat long. Now madde munfasil is if, sorry, yes.
The first ones,
Yes.
when they appear in the Quran,
Yes.
ours are suggestive, aren't they? So they have the
This they will have this sign.
even the ones on the first line, when those words appear
Yeah,
in the
yeah. So
Quran, they have
when
the sound.
they will have this sign, yeah. So I intentionally did not put that sign so to understand here. So in the Quran, when you see these examples, you'll find this line like
The
this.
straight lines from the syllable.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
wavy one for the next one.
Yeah, like I'm not, no, it's not this wiggly one. It's a straight one.
Straight one.
Yeah,
the
but for
top.
mudda muttasil is the straight line,
Yeah.
and for mudda munfasil it will be like this.
That's why they're
Yeah,
different.
yeah, that's right.
So never mind.
Yeah. So we found madda muttasil here. Now what is madda munfasil? Madda munfasil is when after a letter of mad hamza comes, but not in the same word, rather in the next word. Not in the same word, but in the next word. Now you can see the examples here. Fi anfusihim. Here, yazar fi, ya is sakin. The letter before it has a z. So this ya is a letter of mad. Fi, okay. Following that, we can see a hamza. So some people may ask, it's not hamza, it's alif. So we know when alif has a zabur on top of it, it's actually not a alif, it becomes a hamza. Or when alif has a zer or alif has a pesh, any vowel on the letter alif, it is actually a hamza, not pesh, not alif anymore. Okay, so this is a hamza. So fi anfusihim
في أنفسهم
qalu amanna.
قالوا
So
آمنا
that lo will be long. There was a sakin here. We didn't put it here. So lam wa pesh lo. The letter before it is a pesh. So this waw is a letter of mad. قالوا آمنا.
قالوا آمنا
وفي أنفسكم
وفي أنفسكم
يا أيها
يا أيها
أمره إلى الله.
أمره إلى الله.
So this one, the ha should have ulta pesh. Okay, so ha has a ulta pesh, and when you say ulta pesh is actually a letter of mad. We mentioned that. On the khada zabur, khada zer, khada ulta pesh, these three are also a letter of mad. We understand the letter of mad. After that, if there is hamza, then you need to make either muttasil or munfasil. If in the same word muttasil, with the next word munfasil. So all these example, you can say after a letter of mad there is a hamza. However, the hamza is not the same word, rather after the finger space. After the space, we can say the hamza. Qalu amanna here wa fi anfusikum ya ayyuha amruhu ila Allah. So after the space. If hamza comes after the space in the next word, it will be madde munfasil. It will be madde munfasil and not madde muttasil. So we learned 3 types of mad. One is the basic mad. When alif is empty, the letter before it has a zabur. When waw is sakin, the letter before it has a pesh. When ya is sakin, the letter before it has a zer. These are the 3 mad. We need to make them basic mad, which is madde asli, which is known as original mad. And when we have this condition after the letter of mad, if you find a hamza, it will be madde muttasil. If it is in the same word, it's muttasil. If it is in the next word, then it's madde munfasil. If same word muttasil, next word madde munfasil. So inshallah, we'll be doing the new lesson today, which is known as madde lazim. So if you can have the paper, madde lazim.
Which one is ulta pesh? It's looks like it.
No. Okay, Madda Lazim. Who remembers Lazim meaning?
Most.
Most. We found, where did we find Lazim? Does anyone remember? We found Lazim before. Where did we find Lazim? What categories? Waqf Lazim. Waqf Lazim. What is Waqf Lazim? Must stop. Yes. Waqf means stop. Lazim is must. So Waqf Lazim is must stop. So there are a few verses in the Quran that you must stop. If you don't stop, you will change the meaning. How do you find in the Quran what symbol it has? Mim. So mim ayat is called waqf lazim. Whenever you see a mim stopping sign, you must stop in it. Otherwise, it will change the meaning. So this is why it's called waqf lazim. So this one is called mad lazim. You know what's it suggested? That this mad is lazim. It's a must mad. Okay. So mad lazim is when a sakin or tashdid comes after a letter of mad. So we just found if a hamza comes after a letter of mad, it becomes madde muttasil or madde munfasil, isn't it? What we studied just now, if you find a hamza after a letter of mad, it will be either madde muttasil or madde munfasil. If it is the same word muttasil, if it is the next word, then madde munfasil. Now we are saying madde lazim becomes when you find a sakin after a letter of mad, or if you find a tashdid after a letter of mad. So we know sakin, we know tashdid. Okay, so whenever you see a sakin or tashdid after a letter of mad, this mads become as madde lazim. This mads is known as madde lazim. Now madde lazim, you need to, it is the longest mad. It is the longest mad, 6 harakat. So it's like triple of normal mad, isn't it? Yes. Triple length of the normal mad. 6 harakat. So this is not more or less. You cannot make it more than that, or you should not make it less than that. So it is called madde lazim. Madde lazim has 4 types. 4 types. Kalmi muthaqqal, kalmi mukhaffaf, harmi muthaqqal, harfi mukhaffaf. Kalmi muthaqqal, kalmi mukhaffaf, harfi muthaqqal, harfi mukhaffaf. These are the 4 types of madde lazim. We'll explain to all. So kalmi musaqqal. Kalmi musaqqal is when a mushaddad letter, meaning a letter with a tashdid. Mushaddad means a letter with a tashdid. Whenever a letter with tashdid appears after a letter of mad, then it is called kalmi musaqqal. Is it clear or confusing? Is it hard?
What's the symbol? In the Quran.
In the Quran, it's like the same like muttasil.
So there's no difference. Will you
No,
have
no,
to distinguish
no,
it?
you can't distinguish it. Other if you don't know that, no.
You have to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the symbol in the Quran is like a muttasil sign, a muttasil sign.
Straight.
Yes, a straight line. So one example is hajjaka. So can anyone explain this rule for me? How do you know it's a muttasil? So you found a alif zubur ha. This alif is a letter of mad or not? It is a letter of mad. After that, we have a letter called jim. On top of the jim, we have got tashdid. So it's very simple to remember. After a letter of mad, if you find a tashdid, it is madde lazim kalmi musaqqal. Kalmi musaqqal. Now how do you say it? We say hajjaka. 6 harakat. Remember, longest mad. Hajjaka. Wala dallin. So when you say dallin, dad alif zabar da is alif followed by a lam has a tashdid. Followed by the lam has a tashdid. So it is a letter of after a letter of mad we have got a tashdid. So it's madde lazim kalmi muthaqqal. Madde lazim kalmi muthaqqal. Dallin. This is why you see in all the imams when they go to dallin, They make very, very long, isn't it? وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. So it's 6 harakat long. It's called Madde Lazim Kalmi Musaqqal. So very simple to remember. Whenever we find a letter of mad, after the letter of mad, if there is a tashdeed, or mushaddad letter, we need to make this mad 3 alif or 6 harakat long. This is called Madde Lazim Kalmi Musaqqal. Next one, Kalmi Mukhaffaf. Kalmi Mukhaffaf. Kalmi Mukhaffaf is if a sakin letter appears. Before we said Tashdeed letter appears. Now we are saying if a sakin letter appears after a letter of mad, then it is called Kalmi Mukhaffaf. There is only one such example in the Quran. So only one example in the Quran. You don't have to worry about it. Just memorize this word and that's it. It's only one example in the Quran of Kalmi Mukhaffaf, which is Al-Ana. So what's the example here? Alif Khada Zubar? So when it's a Khada Zubar, we say Khada Zubar is a letter of mad, isn't it? Followed by the letter Lam has a Sakin. Khada Zubar, after Khada Zubar we have got a Sakin. So a letter of mad followed by a Sakin, it is Kalmi Mukhaffaf. Kalmi Mukhaffaf.
Shouldn't the second letter be longer? It comes in for a lam. Shouldn't the second one be longer?
Al or Ana, which one?
Ana.
No, Ana is just Khada Zubar, Hamza Khada Zubar, An Zubar Na. So this one,
Yeah.
after a letter of mad, there is Zubar.
Right, okay.
No Hamza, no Tasdeed, no Sakin. So it's normal mad.
The first one.
First one, after a letter of mad, there is a Sakin.
Okay.
However, if you stop on the noon and make it a Sakin, for example, you are going to stop on the word, then both ruling would be the ruling of Madde Lazim Kalmi Mukhaffaf. Because you are making the noon Sakin. If you don't make it Sakin, then only 1 alif. If you make it Sakin, then 3 alif. So let's do the second example with making Sakin. Al-an. Yeah, so 3 alif long. Okay. So this is Kalmi Musaqqal, Kalmi Mukhaffaf. Now we are going to go on. Yes.
Why is it 3? Sorry, why isn't it 6?
Let's go back a little bit.
Pin through that on.
Yeah, just a little bit
I'm sorry.
back. So the last line, this normal mad, 2 harakat equal to 1 alif.
Yeah, you can see.
Okay, so 2 harakat equal to 1 alif. So 6 harakat equal to 3 alif. So 1 alif means 2 harakat.
Okay.
So you can mention any either we can explain it either 2 harakat or 1 alif, 3 harakat or 2 alif, 3 harakat or 6 harakat or 3 alif, 4 harakat or 2 alif. So it's double. Now harfi muthaqqal. Harfi muthaqqal takes place in the haraf. Who knows the haraf mean?
Word.
No. Haraf means letter. And kalmi is from kalima. Kalima means word. In Arabic, kalima means word. So this example we found in the word. Hajjaka is a word. Al-an is a word. This is why they are known as kalmi muthaqqal, kalmi mukhaffaf. The rules we are going to explain now is they are known harfi. Harfi muthaqqal, harfi mukhaffaf. Harfi means letter. So these rules applies or appears in the letter. Now how does rules apply in the letter? If you see, if a mushaddad or tashdeed letter appears after a letter of mad within an Arabic letter, i.e. when the letters are spelt out and idgham takes place between the 2 letters, then it is called harfi muthaqqal. Example, it takes place in the letter lam in alif lam mim. So when you say alif lam mim, we find it only in the beginning of the surahs, isn't it? In the beginning of the surahs. You say alif lam mim. Can you say it?
Alif Lam
you say lam, how many letters I said it?
3.
3. What are they?
Alif, lam, and mim.
No. When I say lam, actually I pronounced one letter is in it,
Yeah.
lam. But when you spell the lam, how many letters do you need it? When you say lam,
2 letters.
no, 3 letters.
Alif,
So lam, zabor la, alif empty, then mim sakin. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So when you spell lam, you say lam, alif, mim, lam. Okay? So lam zabor la, alif empty, mim sakin, lam. After that we pronounce mim. Okay? So which letter we're pronouncing here? Mim, yazir, mi, and then mim sakin, mim. Okay? So the first one, when you say lam, the last letter of this letter is mim sakin. And when you say mim, the first letter of this letter is mim. When you spell it, the first letter is mim. So after a mim sakin, if mim comes, what happens? Doesn't remember. After a mim sakin, if mim comes, what is the ruling? Idgham mislan sughir. Brilliant, mashallah. So when we have mim after a mim sakin, it's called idgham mislain saghir. We know 3 rules of mim sakin. Either izhar shafawi or ikhfa shafawi or idgham mislain saghir. So when you say alif lam mim, the first one, when you say lam, last letter of lam is mim sakin, and when you say mim, the first letter of mim is mim. So after a mim sakin, mim comes, it is idgham mislain saghir. So when when we see mim sakin, after a mim comes after mim sakin, we put a tashdid on mim, don't we? We put a tashdid on, for example, lakum ma kasabtum. When you write lakum ma kasabtum, on top of ma, we'll say tashdid. So here as well, we can say lakum alif lam mim, lam mim. So last letter of letter is a mim sakin, followed by a mim with a tashdid. It will be known as harfi muthaqqal, because we are talking about haraf here, lam mim. Okay, it's a bit confusing, but I will explain in the next chapter, inshallah. So it will be easier. So alif lam mim.
Alif, lam, mim.
So these modes are 3 alif or 6 harakat long. 3 alif or 6 harakat long. Again, if you say with the tasin, tasim mim. Okay, so this is harfi muthaqqal. Now let's go to harfi mukhaffaf. Harfi mukhaffaf is if a sakin letter appears after a letter of mad within an Arabic letter, then it is called harfi mukhaffaf. Example, when we say alif lam mim, the last letter mim. How do you spell mim? Mim yazir mi and mim sakin. So we have got a ya, letter of mad. After letter of mad, we have got a mim sakin. So after a letter of mad, if a sakin comes, it is harfi mukhaffaf. And because it is in the haraf, it is called harfi mukhaffaf. This is why mim is also 3 alif long. Lam 3 alif long because of harfi muthaqqal. Mim 3 alif long because of harfi mukhaffaf. Alif lam mim. Similarly, qasim mim. Last letter is mim, 3 alif long.
So twa is harfi musakkal.
No, not ta. Ta does not have anything. Just ta khalas over ta. 1 alif long. Ta. Sin 3 alif long. Because after, when you say sin, the last letter is nun sakin. After that we found mim. So you got idgham and then you say mim. Okay.
So mim will be harfi
Mukhaffaf. Sin will be harfi muthaqqal. Now the next chapter, it will make it a bit easier if you understand. So this chapter is called Fawatih as-Suwar. Fawatih surah. Fawatih means the opener. Surah is the plural of surah. In the Quran we have surahs. Surah is the plural of surah. So they are known as Fawatih surah. In the Quran we see some surahs has some letters like Alif Lam Mim, Ta Sin, Yasin, Noon, Sad, Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ain, Sin, Qaf. Okay. Then we say Hamim, Hamim, Ain, Sin, Qaf. We find in the Quran some of the surah starts with these letters. What are the meaning of these letters? No one knows. No one knows. It is indicating letters, indicating things between Allah and His Messenger. So no one else knows. And this gives an important ideology. Some of the people you will find nowadays are saying, if you don't understand the Quran, what's the point of reading it? Have you heard of it? Some of the modern scholars are saying, if you don't understand the Quran, what's the point of reading it? Okay? Because they think Quran is like any other book. Quran is not like any other book. This is why whether you understand it or not, you will get reward. Obviously, if you understand this, brilliant and excellent, and every Muslim should try to understand the Quran. However, although if you don't understand anything, whenever you read it, you'll get reward. What's the example? What's the proof for that? Proof for that is the Prophet mentioned, when you say Alif Lam Mim, you'll be getting 30 rewards. Alif 10, Lam 10, Mim 10. What does Alif Lam Mim mean? No one knows. So although we don't know the meaning of that, yet we are getting 30 rewards mentioned by the Prophet. Similarly, in the whole Quran, if you do not understand any ayat of the Quran, just read it and you'll be getting reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are known as Fawatih surah, the openers of the surahs, and there are 14 letters have been mentioned in this in the beginning of the surahs. How many letters? 14. Out of Arabic 29 letters, we've got 14 letters. They are mentioned in the beginning of the surahs. These are Sad, Lam, Ha, Sin, Ha, Ya, Ra, Alif, Mim, Nun, Qaf, Ta, Ain, Kaf. Easily, if you want to remember these 14 letters, if you memorize this sentence, Silhu, Sahira, Man Qata'ak. Silhu, Sahira, Man Qata'ak. Silhu, Sahira, Man Qata'ak. So these are the 14 letters, are mentioned, comes in some of the surahs. I'm going through it very quickly today. Inshallah, we'll be explaining more in the future. So if anyone to practice at home, you can do it. So these 14 letters are divided into two categories. These 14 letters are divided into two groups of two categories. Number one, 3-lettered, and number two, 2-lettered. What does 3-lettered means? Some of these letters, when you spell them, you need 3 letters. For example, Alif. When you spell Alif, how many letters we are needing? Alif. 3 letters in it. La, Fa. 3 letters, isn't it? Similarly, when you spell Kaf, you need 3 letters. Kaf, Alif, Fa. Kaf. So there among these 14 letters, 8 letters are of this category, meaning you need 3 letters to spell them. So they are Kaf, Mim, Ain, Sin, Lam, Nun, Qaf. Kam Asalin Naqas. If you put them together, it becomes Kam Asalin Naqas. Sorry, we missed out Swad in here. Is it in our page here? Do you have Swad here?
No.
Okay, so we missed out Swad. So you can write Swad if you can, please.
No.
So Kam Asalin Naqas. Yeah, so Swad is also there. If you also Alif is not there, that's a different case. Alif does not have any mud in here, so we are not putting Alif in this category. Alif does not have any mud. When you spell Alif, Alif, there is no Zair Zobor, Karapesh or Waw Alifiyah. So this is why we've got 8 letters in this category. Kam Asalin Naqas. So when you spell Kaf, Kaf. When you spell Mim, Mim. When you spell Ain, Ain. Ain Ya Nun. When you spell Sin, Sin Ya Nun. Lam, Lam Alif Mim. When you spell Nun, Nun Waw Nun. Qaf, Qaf Alif Fa. Sad, Sad Alif Dal. Okay. So all these letters, when you spell them, you need 3 letters. These are known as 3-lettered letter. Then we have got, these letters. Out of these 8 letters, 7 letters will be read as Mudd Lazim. Out of these 8 letters, 7 letters will be read as Mudd Lazim. So we say, Kaf, Mim, Sin, Lam, Noon, Qaf, Sad. Only Ain. Ain is not a Mudd Lazim. Why? Because when you say Ain, the middle letter is Ya Sakin, isn't it? What's the first letter before the Ya Sakin? When you spell Ain? No, before Ain. Ain, when you spell Ain Ya Zabor, I, isn't it? So Ya Sakin. But before Ya, what harkat we have got on Ain? What harkat? No, what harkat? Vowel. Zabor. So Ya Sakin before Zabor, is it a letter of Mad or not? No. Because when you say Ya Sakin before it is Zer, it's a letter of Mad. Ya Sakin before it is Zabor is not a letter of Mad. This is why Ain is not it does not consider into Mudd Lazim. Okay, and when you say Mim, Ya Sakin, the letter before it has a Zer, isn't it? So Ain is not included in this category, but it can be extended by either 4 harakat or 6 harakat. So you can make Ain 4 harakat long or 6 harakat long. However, 6 harakat is better. Why? Because all the letters are making 6 harakat. So to go with the flow, it's better to pronounce Ain also with 6 harakat. Yes.
So, in respect of explaining it,
Yes.
we're saying that Ain can't have a Mudd Lazim.
Mudd Lazim.
Applying the same principle.
Exactly, yes. So, in the Surah Maryam, the beginning word of the Surah Maryam is Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ain, Sad. So, this is the beginning of Surah Maryam. Kaf, 3 alif long. Ha, Ya, 1 alif, 1 alif. Ain will be made 3 alif long. Sad is 3 alif long. So Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ain, Sad. Okay, beginning of Surah Maryam. If you want to check, you can check, inshallah. Then we have got 2-lettered one. Rest of the 5 letters, when you spell them, you need only 2 letters. These are Ha, Ya, Taha, Ra. Ha, Ya, Taha, Ra. So if you put them together, they become Hayya Tahur. Hayya Tahur. So when you pronounce Ha, when you spell Ha, how do you spell it? Ha alif zabor, Ha. Ya alif zabor, Ya. Ta alif zabor, Ta. Ha alif zabor, Ha. Ra alif zabor, Ra. So these are only 2-lettered letters. They become only 2 harakat long. Okay. So we found these are the 13 letters. Out of 14 letters, if you leave alif away, rest of the 13 letters are used in some of the surahs of the Quran. Some of them are 3-lettered, some of them are 2-lettered. 3-lettered one will be read as 3 alif or 6 harakat long. 2-lettered one will be pronounced as 2 harakat long. Okay, 2 harakat long, one alif. So if you open like Yasin, how long the Ya would be? 2. Sin, 6 harakat. 6 harakat. So Ya 2 harakat because Ya is one of these 5, and Sin would be 6 harakat because Sin is here, 3 letters. So Yasin wal Qur'anil Hakim. Also another ruling of reading these letters are you can't join them. So usually Ya and Sin together, how do you spell it? How do you pronounce it? We say yes, isn't it? Yes. Kintu, we don't say yes here. We say Ya, Sin, separately. Ya, Sin. Similarly, beginning of the surah. They are known as Fawatihas, who are openers of the surah. Similarly, Alif, Lam, Mim. If Alif, Lam, Mim together, usually in other spaces, we would have read Alam. But here we don't read Alam. We read Alif, Lam, Mim, separately. Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ain, Sad. We gave example. Ha, Mim. How do you say Ha, Mim? So ha is how long?
Two.
2 harakat. Mim 6 harakat. Hamim wal Qur'anil Hakim. You go carry on reading. Ha is one alif or 2 harakat. Mim is 3 alif or 6 harakat. So if you remember these letters, 8 plus 5, 8 letters are 3 letters spelling, 6 harakat long. These 5 are 2 letters and you make 1 alif long. So inshallah, whenever you open the Quran, you find a surah, alif lam mim ra. There is in the surah, isn't it? In Surah Ra'd, alif lam mim ra. So lam 3 alif long, mim 3 alif long, ra 1 alif long. Okay. So inshallah, if you can practice this, we will see inshallah in the following weeks. Any question?